Welcome to Unshakeable, the podcast that shares stories of resilience in the face of life's toughest challenges. I'm your host, Siviwe Shakes Soizwapi, and each week we dive into real conversations that not only inspire but help us grow, offering insights on how to navigate our own struggles with strength and purpose. Because resilience isn't about being unbreakable, it's about standing firm when life tries to shake you. This is Unshakeable. Let's get into it.
Hello, Unshakeable family. Welcome to yet another episode. Very excited for this episode. I'm sitting down with a really good friend of mine. This guy I've been through the toughest of times with, and we've actually enjoyed such great times as well in our friendship. So I'm really excited just to sit down and have a chat. His story is remarkable, one that I believe will impact so many people. At Unshakeable, obviously, we highlight resilience, grit, and just showing that you are also unshakable. So my guest today is definitely unshakable, and I know that his story, he has overcome so much, and he's got an unshakable spirit. So welcoming today to our episode, LIZO GQOBOKA. Meli. That's what we call each other.
Meli, no, thank you so much, my brother, for having me. Really honored, you know, to be part of this journey, and really excited for what God has in store for you as well. And congratulations really on your courage of starting this, you know, while still playing professionally and doing all these things. I think it just shows the capacity that you have, and truly grateful to God, and thank you for having me.
Anytime, Meli. And like I said, you are an easy candidate to be on the show or on the podcast, because of the person that you are, that I know so well. So it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer to me. And now that I got an opportunity to come up to Johannesburg, I thought, I would really regret it if I fly back and we didn't link up. So thank you to you for taking out the time and making time for us to sit down. Today, you being a rugby player, little did they know that you are almost a footballer at once upon a time.
100%. Yeah, no, thank you, Meli. I mean, I'll send the invoice later.
Hey, these rugby players.
It's crazy how the switch happened. I was reminded today at our captain's run earlier on today, we were playing soccer, you know, and I still enjoy it, you know. A really, really nice game. My sons, and I actually play almost every day with my sons. We play soccer, you know, and rugby. So it's really nice. I think I always encourage my sons, you know, I've got 3 boys to play all the sports, you know, because if I didn't try rugby, I wouldn't have known that I have talent in rugby, because I grew up playing soccer.
100%.
Yeah.
Did you have a dream to be a professional one day, be it in soccer or rugby?
Yes, I always wanted to. I thought I was going to play for Kaizer Chiefs. You know, because that was my dad's team and my team. You know, and the craziest thing is that when I grew up, we didn't have electricity, so so we used to listen on the radio, you know, and we sit there, and it's crazy how you can almost see it, but you're listening on the radio. The imagination is so powerful.
100%.
You know, and I think the commentators were like brilliant. They would paint this picture, you know. So it was that's how we grew up, and I think I didn't know though that you can make a living out of it. You know, I thought you just play. You know, I mean, coming from the rural areas, I didn't know you can make a living. I thought, you know, I just want to be a nurse or a doctor or a lawyer, you know, a teacher. I didn't know you can be an engineer and stuff like that, or play or be a musician and make a living out of it. No, you know, only knew four professions.
Doctor, teacher,
lawyer. Architect, what is that? You know. So.
I know. These are the blessings of being like what sport can do.
100% exposure
for all of us. It exposes us to so much. Speaking of where you grew up, You went to Ntabankulu High.
Yes.
And
yes.
For people who don't know, where is that?
That is in the Eastern Cape, between Mthatha and Kokstad.
Yeah.
I was actually born in Mount Frey,
Yes.
and my mom is from Ntabankulu. So the reason I went, I did my high school in Ntabankulu is because my mom was from there. And when I was born, I think 4 months after I was born, my mom was working in Berlin, and she took me to her mom in Ntabankulu, and that's where I grew up. Then when I started school, I went back Mount Frey to my home where my mom got a transfer. Went back to Mount Frey where my dad was and my siblings, But just to paint a picture. I was born in Mount Frey, and then grew up in Ntabankulu. So I grew up between these two towns, and it's rural. You know how rural areas are, and I always share this. When I started school, we didn't have a structure. There was no structure like walls and stuff like that. There was just one. I would call it a flat. It's a one room. And then we had a tree outside that we were studying. We put the board on the tree, and our teacher was teaching us there, standing next to a tree and pointing, and we were sitting on the grass, And the older kids would go, because it was quite far, Mkakyen, which is like maybe between 5 to 10 kilometers. My eldest sister, went there.
That's where another school was.
Yes, and you go through, I would say, like a forest, and you cross a river to go there. And people think these things are not real. People still live like that, and that's my sister. That was her every day, going to school, and that's where Ntabankulu is and Mount Frey is. But I think the most important thing is that I'm a born-again Christian. I think that's my identity. That's rooted in Christ, and really grateful for His grace.
Yes.
And His plan of salvation. I've got 2 older sisters and 1 younger brother.
Nice.
And all of us are married. Grateful to God, have kids.
Definitely.
So by the age of 14, I was working loading trucks with sand back in Ntabankulu.
What about school?
Saturdays.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and if we finish early on Friday, I'll get a load in. As well for 10 rands a load. And the trucks back in the days where you would offload them as well. You don't just load; they were not tipper trucks, and all those things, man, where they've built who I am, today. And I always share this thing by matric year. I was working for a funeral parlor called Notemba Funeral Parlor. It's
in your matric year?
In my matric year.
Okay.
Yes. I remember.
And Notemba Funeral Parlor is still there today?
It's still there in Ntabankulu. I still go greet every time I'm home. And this one Saturday, I was opening the casket, and I'm wearing a suit, and I'm opening a casket, and the family is singing and getting up to see their loved one for the last time. And I saw my teacher. She was so shocked to see me standing there wearing a suit, because I was in her class on a Friday. So,
Saturday funeral.
Yeah, Saturday I'm there working for a funeral parlor. So
what did you do there? What was your job description?
You do everything there. You prepare the bodies to be buried, and you put them in the casket, and there's a lot that goes in. Some people wash the tents that they use to hire out and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that you can do there. But I was there, and obviously on a Saturday, you go there and you help open the casket for the family to see the deceased, and
for the last
also
time.
helping with the lowering the casket into his final resting place.
So when you say prepare, is it like washing the body.
You not really like washing, but you prepare them. You put the clothes on. Some people put a bit of makeup or whatever it is. Some people cut the hair, because it's crazy how much the hair grows when people are dead. Yeah. So
that is very humble beginnings to think about it, and like you said, it shaped the person that you are today, and incredibly humble man and a leader. So. I'm honored to call you a friend because of such traits that you possess and have. So if your life is like class under a tree, Saturdays you're working at a funeral parlor, or / sometimes dipping a truck and loading a truck, what was did you have a dream? Did you have a vision of what would materialize in the future, who you would become? Or did you just take every day, a day at a time? Or how was the approach?
I think I always knew it just came from within. That's why I say it's God. I always knew that I'm not going to end up here. Amazing. I always believed that the places where we are born, or the families, the societies where we are born, is we are actually sent there by God as potential solution. I'll make an example. I was the first person to graduate in my family. So breaking that curse of people not studying, if you focused and you work hard and you are teachable and you just cut the distraction and push, that is possible. That's I think many a times when we find ourselves in situations like that, we forget how big or how great our God is, and that He can do anything. He can open any door for us. So I think that faith helped me mainly to believe that there has to be more than what I'm seeing. And crazy enough, we didn't have televisions. We would have like magazines that I don't even know where we got them from, but we had these posters, or check the magazine or newspapers. That's for your imagination. And I thought I was gonna be a lawyer. I think that was my dream. I thought I would be a lawyer. And play soccer, and also ministry, preach the word of God.
So it's you mentioned the faith. I wanted to ask, when you got saved, when you met the Lord, because it's an integral part of who you are, and it shaped the person you are today. It got you through those times as well, back in the days,
Absolutely.
when it was hard, before you even made it out of the village.
100%.
For you, when was your first encounter, and how did your life change after you met the Lord?
Firstly, I was my parents were pastors at Methodist Church, and so I grew up in a Christian home, and firstly, my relationship was that of fear, that I'm scared of God. I don't want to go to hell, But like when I got saved at the age of 16, I started to have this personal relationship where, there is reverence, and there's also it's a love of God that draws me closer to Him more than the fear of scared of going to hell, or thinking God is this angry man that's waiting for you cut us out or just take us out. So the love of God, really experiencing it and working my own salvation was really the best decision I've ever made, the best decision for life. So really grateful for salvation. I don't think anything comes close. I mean, the relationship with Jesus is better than life itself.
True. I can definitely attest to that. Before you met the Lord, but now you had different seasons in how you had this relationship with God. The first season was when you said it was from fear, and then it was then transferred where it was the way it was supposed to be, when it was out of love and understanding what He's done for us. So at that time when you were scared of Him, was it a matter of fearing to put a foot wrong and making any mistakes? Because I can't imagine that can even help you through, because you said it's your faith. I can't imagine it can help you through the difficult times while you still have fear for someone.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yes. So what I think both stages of relationships have played really a great role, because like the fear, because there was no understanding or personal relationship then, but it served as a protection. It protected me because I didn't do what I want when I want to, because I've got these teachings from my parents, even though the understanding was not
it's religious,
there, but but the praying, knowing that here, I think my dad and my mom did this very well, that here we rely on God, here we depend on God. So even though I had fear, but I knew if I'm facing difficulty, I pray. I'm not thinking, I need to go consult there, I need to go slaughter this there, and no, I was not confused. I knew that my help will come from God. So I think there's no both sides were worked out for my good.
When you got out of Mount Frey, did you go straight to Durban?
Yes.
That was the next chapter in your life.
Yes.
How was that change, going from a village life to a city life?
It was just different, the exposure. People laugh when I say the first time I had a burger, and in my life I was in varsity, I remember sitting with my cousin Ukaya at a restaurant at Spur. I think I was doing my second year, and I didn't know. Because I couldn't see that we ordered ribs, and I couldn't see because they covered like nice meat and fat. So I couldn't see. I'm trying to cut. I'm like, I can't find the meat. It's just a bone. And Ukaya told me, no, you cut it like this. And I think it was like one of the first times I used a knife and fork. Yes, and I was in varsity, and grateful for people like that are willing to help. Even a pizza, I didn't know those things existed, because in Mount Frey and Tabankolo we didn't have pizza, we didn't have restaurants at all. I think,
of course.
So in Tabankolo they only got KFC there just a few years ago. Like a KFC, just a few years ago. I don't think it's over 5 years.
Wow.
That we have KFC there. So
are there any other firsts that you can think of, that things you did for the first time at an age where people wouldn't have anticipated?
I would say I don't know if I'm answering you right, but like
the first time you had a burger was in university.
Yes, but I'm saying to interact with different races. I had never had that, till I was in varsity.
100%.
I was taught everything in Xhosa, and now I have to communicate in English. So that was a tough one.
Big challenge.
And it was a big challenge because you are learning, but you get it wrong or you pronounce it wrong. I still do, and we were kids. The guys that when I started playing rugby, the guys would laugh. They would laugh, and they keep repeating it tomorrow and the other day.
How much
those times when they laugh at you. So now you're scared. It took so much courage just for you to speak up again. To be able to speak again. So those struggles of refusing to give up, refusing to say this is not for me. I must rather go back to my comfort zone back home. So I refused to go back home, and be comfortable, speak closer. So I was like, no, God has given me an opportunity. I'm not a victim. I'm going to learn this, and I'm going to be successful.
So it was your purpose that kept you there, that kept you fighting.
Yes.
Each and every day.
Yes.
Which is something very special.
Yes.
To have.
Absolutely, Mel.
Like you said, it's your faith that which is the best thing that you've ever had in life. And then from Durban did you start playing club rugby there? Or how did you get into rugby? Because in Tabangolo, in the village, it was all soccer. And now you're out. Was it the rugby that took you out of obviously not. I think it was the university part.
Yes, it was a university part.
And then how did you get into rugby?
Yeah, so I went to Durban to study, and focused on my studies, and so there was a guy in my neighborhood that used to carry a lot of rugby balls. He played 10 and 12 because I played with him, Quintin Hibner.
Oh yeah.
Still a good friend. We chat, and so I asked him if I can join him, and I think it speaks to that being open-minded, being open to trying new things, maybe I should say.
Yeah.
And then he said, yeah, sure, you can come. Then I went with him. I went to Queensberry Club. That's a club, I mean, if I can paint a picture, that club played, our first team played the third side of the Rovers and Collegians. So the level was really low.
Different league.
Yeah, but really good people, very patient with me because I didn't know the rules, I didn't know the positions, but absolutely great people that actually I'm here because they gave me a chance and were patient with me.
And you were 19 that time?
I was studied when 18.
Yeah.
And first year. But I was just starting when I was 18, but playing like properly 19.
So the first time LIZO GQOBOKA picked up a rugby ball, he was 18 years old.
Yes. I didn't even know what position I was going to play there. I couldn't tell you this is a scrum half, this is a prop, this is a hooker, this is a five, a fullback, what their functions are, what their responsibilities are. I couldn't tell you.
In your head, you have no idea where this guy is going with all these rugby balls.
And I could see, no, this is rugby because there was I think it was after we won the 2007 World Cup.
Okay.
So there was a lot of hype. Noise and hype about rugby. So we're learning this thing, and stuff. Even now, when I was in Mount Frere, I knew there was something like rugby because my uncle once went on holiday. I don't know if he went to PE or Cape Town, and he came back with the rugby ball, those brown balls.
Those old school.
And I took the rugby ball. So we knew there's something like this, but we never played, didn't have matches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We played soccer. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's incredible because I'm lucky enough to have had it in primary school already. I had in the school there was an extramural activity that you could do and play rugby. So from 9 years old, I've always played rugby. So to be exposed at it when you are so old and to become a Springbok, for me that is an absolutely precious and great story. And again, it attests to the person that you are, and because of all the challenges that must have come with with all of that. So how was the development in the club, and how long did it take you then to get your first contract and for them to be we can go somewhere with this? Did something happen at training where they were like, say what that?
Keep him okay. No, not really. I think the numbers were low as well with us there, and I didn't play. I think there was A and B because we were still under 20s. So there was A and B, and I don't know if we, so only A and B. So I was quite quick and strong. So when I catch the ball, they would just give me the ball, and I just run through people and maybe go score. Sometimes I would catch a ball, 8 men, and go straight and score.
Did you even know how much you weighed?
No, and I was just quick for a big boy. And I remember this one time they kicked off to us, and I got a ball inside our 22. And because I saw, I don't know if it was a flyer for a fullback that kicked out, so I also kicked when I got the next one, but I kicked it out,
a beautiful
over,
kick.
And everyone is clapping and stuff. I'm like, I'm gonna do this again, but I didn't know, I didn't have understood. Thank God I was still inside the 22 when I kicked the ball. So had I been out of 22, it would have been
a different story.
So they were patient with me, really. And there was a question that bothered me as we moved on to a friend of mine, Uzakete Loshangi, said, let's go to Collegians, and I was bothered. I was like, why do we have to move and stuff? That was the following year now. and he said now they play at a higher league and stuff. It's better.
Yeah.
So we went at Collegians, and that's where Ameto, Marcel, could see Kubas, Reinach, those guys. We played together at Collegians. They were contracted by the Sharks, but they were released to play club rugby.
Got you.
If they're not in Super Rugby squad on the weekend. And that's why I started understanding a bit. I was 8th man.
Yeah.
And then I played 8 actually at Collegians as well.
Oh, wow.
Till I decided, you know what, on a Monday, something said, which I believe the Holy Spirit said, you know what, you can play prop, you are quicker, but you can scrum, you're strong enough, but your advantage will be that you are quicker, and you can carry the ball and stuff like that. So I played a prop on 8th man on a Saturday. Monday I came back, I said, I want to be a prop.
Yeah.
That's how I change.
Just went to the coach and
people supported. Yes. It's crazy that on a Monday your 8th man comes and says I'm switching.
And you want to be in the front row.
Yes.
At that time you probably don't know. Hey, I'm putting on a lot of work here for myself.
100%.
Which I'm not aware of.
I thank God I didn't break my neck or my back because there was no technique.
Yeah. And your first professional contract?
The EP Kings, so as I was playing club rugby at Collegians, I played against Mpangeni, where I made my first team debut. And there was a guy there, Charles Ndaweni. He actually sent me a message, I think 2 weeks ago, before I played Province. And after the game, the guy said, you know what, you are so talented, but it's just raw talent. Which school did you go to? And I tell him, as everyone was always asking me, which school did you go to? And I didn't understand why this question is so important, but now that I'm playing with these guys that went to these schools every Monday, I understand how big, because it produces these stars 100%. And stuff. Yeah, so he said, look at EP Kings, Border, SWD, Then I started now, after my graduation now, I started looking, we were building a bridge in Cape Town, working for J. Teros. Then I checked there on the internet, EP Kings, I checked Border Bulldogs, I checked SWD.
This is another job now that you...
Yes, because this is after my graduation, I did business management. Then I started working, now, and I'm still playing. So I would... in the morning from 8 to 5, I'm working full time. Then in the evenings from like 6:30 to 8:30, I'm playing club rugby. So that was my love.
Nice.
That was my life, and that's when now I started checking and calling the EP Kings, because Shange, a friend of mine, again said, EP Kings are doing well. They have nice facilities, good players, and I started calling them. And
that's where we met.
That's where we met when I came, crazy, we've come a long way. We even lived together at the army base.
I'm actually going to find some of those photos that I'm going to share.
Oh my goodness, love
the community.
Oh my God, now good memories.
Yeah, no, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's how I got the first contract, at the EP
You reached out to them?
I reached out to the EP Kings, and that was a long process as well. I said, I was calling them almost every day, and they said, which school did you go to again? I said, I went to Dabankulu High School. Where is that? And, then they said, send us a video of yourself playing so we can see. But I didn't have a video. I was playing club rugby, and finally after like a while they said, now just come,
We're tired of
you. You are so persistent. We're tired of you. Just come.
We're tired of your phone calls.
100%. That's how I went down for a trial. And I never went back to Devon.
Wow. Wow.
I don't know if you'd remember, we. After I think it was on 3rd week in PE. Usia Mangaliso was our captain. They told Sia, they said, after we played on a weekend, he said they told Sia to tell me to come to training. That was it, And I went to training, barefoot. I didn't have shoes when I went there. My first day, I was chased out of the gym. They said, no, you can't gym barefoot. And then I phoned my parents. Then they gave me, I think, 120 rands to buy turkeys. And that's how it started.
That's incredible. And obviously I know that at the time you were there, you had to call your people from Durban and be like, cheers.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, but I'm following my dream.
Yeah.
Because while you were with them, like the burning sensation now of following your passion and falling in love with rugby.
Yes.
Now you probably see yourself in higher heights in the sport. You are just like, thank you for the opportunity.
I'm giving rugby a chance. Yes.
I'm giving rugby a chance.
Yes.
And then you are in PE. That transition must not have been easy, because it sounds like an abrupt transition. Like it was probably middle of the year.
Yes,
it was probably while you were busy building a bridge or whatever you were doing. Now you have to kind of follow your heart.
No, absolutely. And I think one of the most important things with big decisions like that is we need to practice faith on a daily. Because sometimes we think we want to apply faith when we have to make life-changing decisions. Only. And that's where we don't even believe it ourselves. That's when it's difficult, and we rely on calculations and connections and stuff like that.
History,
but when you practice on an everyday basis, you practice your faith. You apply the word. You do the word, and not only just listening to the word. That's when you get the confidence, and the reference
on the decision.
On the decisions, because when you believe God for something small and you see it happens, that gives you confidence, that strengthens your faith.
True.
So when it comes to big decisions, you've been applying faith. It's not a new thing that you need to do. So that's why I was able to quit my job before I even get the contract. I quit my job for trials. So that's why it happens. And I think as well, Milo Ngogo.
Yes.
So Milo, I lived with Milo
in PE.
In PE, when I was starting.
Because he had been already there for a while.
Yes. And I remember he gave me his, I think Springbok pens, Springbok 7s pens or something, because he played for Springbok 7s. And because I was always like, I'm going to be a Springbok. That time, I'm not even playing for the first team of the EP Kings in the first division.
You're still on trial. And I must say, really, like, this is the thing, even throughout the time we were in PE, this guy always said he was going to be a Springbok.
100%.
Like, first of all, at that time, you on trial, you don't even have a contract.
Yes.
Number two is the time you had a contract and you were at the Kings playing first division, Vodacom Cup, all those lower tiers. One thing I can say, he always said one day he's gonna be a Springbok.
100%. And the thing is this, Melly, there is we sometimes, because I didn't become a Springbok in 2012, 2011 when I started saying it. 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It happened 9 years later. And sometimes we give up on our second year or our third year or our fifth year. But I said to Milo, when he gave me the pens, I said, thank you, but I will end them. I will end the Springbok colors. I won't buy it, and I won't accept it from anyone. I appreciate it. The gesture and the generosity to give it to me, but I will end it. So I never bought any Springbok thing. When Springbok, and even the Springbok 7s, when they played in PE, I was tempted, but I went with my clothes.
Casuals,
I said, I'm not gonna buy. I'm gonna earn it. So
that is amazing.
Stay in there, because in the time of waiting, God is preparing the character for what you have asked Him. Is shaping the character, is molding the character. Because sometimes we ask God for things that our character is not ready for. So in the time of waiting, we are being prepared. God can give us. I mean, I'll make an example. My son is 7, the 7-year-old. He thinks he can drive, Seriously, this guy, he thinks he can drive, and as a father, I said to him, not now, when you are 18, even though he thinks he's ready for it, but as a father, I know he's not. And I'm not saying no, I'm saying not now.
Not now.
So God sometimes says to us, not now.
Sure.
And we give up. We throw in the towel because God is saying not now.
Not now.
Yes.
It's not a no.
It's not a no. It's like not now. God knows you are not ready. Your character is not ready. Actually, if He can give it to you now, it can destroy you. If you are not ready for fame, we've seen it. And the fame can destroy you, completely take you out forever.
Definitely.
You know, if you're not ready for money, having a lot of money can destroy you. So I prefer how God works is building you first, preparing you first.
And it's not a no, as I said, and as you said as well, it's not yet, and that's actually a form of love.
It is a form of love, yes.
And from you as a father to him, because you don't want that to destroy him or him to crash the car.
100%, yes.
What did I want to ask you now? I wanted to say, in that time, because I really want to touch on this point, in that time of not having your breakthrough, and it's a difficult time, what would you say or advise someone who are not mature enough to accept what you're saying? Do you know what I mean? It's a not now. And I feel like I'm ready. And I'm old enough to know that I'm ready.
That I'm ready.
And you know you've experienced those situations and people like that. What would you say to the
I would say, mainly, you put God first. You know, I think when you put God first, and if God doesn't give you now, you know, then you must accept that He's saying not now, or sometimes He may be saying not for you, I've got something else for you. You know, but when you trust God, that He has a better plan for your life than you even have for yourself. You know, so it's that trust in God to say, you know what, if it takes how many years, 10 years, 5 years, 9 years, like it did to me, you know, I'm going to trust God and I'm going to keep at it. And waiting is not inactivity. Is not the absence of action. So while you are waiting, you are sharpening your skills, you are reading the books, you are studying, you are empowering yourself, you are developing yourself, you know, and you are not just sitting and being idle and do nothing, you know. And that's what I would say is, if you are not the Lord of your life. So if God is not giving you, trust Him. That it's either has something better or is saying not now.
Amazing. Amazing. So you eventually signed your contract.
Yes.
And now you are a professional rugby player. How long was it? Was it a 1 year, 2 year deal, or?
It was firstly a 1 year deal.
A 1 year deal. They wanted to see if this guy is really. What did you think they saw something in the trials and as well for them to finally say, let's just give the. I'm sure it wasn't a thing of like this phone call, let's just bring him over. This must have been different because now they could actually see what you can do and practically work with you. After that 1 year deal, what was your thought process and your state of mind? Were you like, I've made it now, or that's just one step closer to being that Springbok that I've always wanted to be?
And now for me, I must thank Coach Robbie Kempson. You know, he's the one that gave me the opportunity. Him and of course we worked with him at the Epic Kings, and Coach Ellen Solomon, the head coach. So they gave me the 1 year, and I thought, you know, it was such a tough period of waiting. You know, because 2011 we played the under 21, so we didn't know if we were going to get a senior contract or not. You know, so when I got that 1 year, because I was thinking to myself, even if I get 3 months, it's enough, you know, to show. But when I got a year, I knew that
because
everything
that job
is up to me.
It's
gone. I quit the job, you know. So
even 3, I'll take 3 months.
And the thing is this, I thought to myself, it's enough, you know. It's up to me now. I think it was like, now I'm given the opportunity. How do I apply myself? Am I teachable? Am I disciplined? Am I sacrificing? Am I working hard enough? You know, then if I give it my all and whatever outcome there is, I would be at peace at that.
What other figures and individuals played a role in this whole process? Because I know obviously God puts people, because ultimately it's God that guides you and leads you and helps you to have a mindset like that. What people, I think, let me ask it this way, what people did God put in your pathway that could be like, okay, and you also mentioned fame can ruin and destroy you. People that said, no, LIZO, you don't have to do that now at this stage of your career and stuff like that. Are there any individuals?
Yeah, I would say firstly my parents, and I think for them to support me in something that they did not even understand. They sent me to Durban to study, and now I'm playing rugby, and now I started gymming. I think I was 19 or 20, started gymming, and now I think it was 450 or I don't know how much the gym was. So now I need the protein shake, which was also like I think 300 something or 400 rand. So now I need an extra 1,000 rand or whatever. So for them to support me, not only in prayer but to support something that they don't even understand. They could have easily said, you know what, we sent you there to school, you know how tough things are at home, you know, so just study. So my parents, I would say, and Coach Robbie Kempson, I mean, he gave me the opportunity. He taught me the first techniques and stuff, scrummaging, because I was just scrumming at club rugby. It was just power and stuff. To work, I mean, he was the first person to work with in a professional environment. You know, he believed in me so much. He could play me at loose head and untighted. So huge thanks to him.
I know black parents. What do you think convinced them to support you?
Yeah, I think my parents, it's God again, you know, because they're Christians, they're pastors, and they really were so open minded as well as people that never played, I mean, sport, to come now and say, I mean, my dad played soccer, but he never needed money to go play. So now if I'm saying, okay, I need money to play rugby, I need money to gym, I need money, you know, I think it's just being open-minded and trusting the person and supporting.
That must have been God, because especially at the time, it's not like 2025 now, you know, it's back in the days where it's not as advanced and where the level that it is at now. And
before you ask that question, Mel, I want to tell you a story. After on my graduation day, my parents took a taxi from home to Durban. So after we finished after I finished graduating, I went to play a rugby game at Bluff. At Bluff in Durban. And the reason for that, I've never had my parents watch me play. So I was like, I'm not missing. I couldn't wait for the graduation to finish so that I can go play rugby with my parents there. You know, so that was the first time ever, you know, with my parents there and seeing me actually playing rugby for all the things they were supporting me and stuff, praying for me, so they could actually see it.
And God orchestrated that, because I'm sure when it came to the decision of them believing in the dream and backing you in the decision you made to move to Port Elizabeth, they needed to be at that game to experience those feelings, to see how you are in your element. So your story is definitely God ordained and scripted by him through and through. I want you to tell us about your Springbok call-up. And because I know a lot of people know you've been to a couple of teams, at the Bulls, Stormers a bit now at the time, and now back up at the Bulls, and you spent a couple of years at the Kings as well. So I just want you to take us through that story of when you got the call up.
The first call,
the first call, and how that was for you.
I think the first one or the second one was definitely at the AP Kings. You were there.
The first one,
you know, and I went to a Springbok camp in Cape Town. I mean, it was hard to believe, you know. It was like really, I mean, you dream of this thing and it's happening, you know. I think my heart was just filled with gratitude. And again, my faith was strengthened, you know, to say, you know what, God still answers the prayers, you know, God still hears our prayers and answers our prayers. So I was just filled with gratitude, you know. And I said this to my parents when I was walking on the stage on my graduation, and when I ran on the field at times, I was actually not seeing myself running. I was actually seeing my parents, you know, because I'm not a self-made man, you know. I stand really on the shoulders of prayer warriors and people that supported me along the way. So when things like that are such a highlight, being called to the Springboks, I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude and joy unspeakable, you know. And
no, for sure. And I remember exactly that first call, because now you have your own shorts, you have your own Springbok shorts, and not that you would come in and training and boast it and wear your Springbok kit, because you've always been humble. Even after that call, you remained humble through it all, and God guided you to remain the individual and person that you are today. When was the second one then? The second call?
Still at the AP Kings, but then I moved to the Bulls after that, and that was 2015. End of 2015. Then been at the Bulls, and when I made my debut, I was here at the Bulls, 2019. Truly grateful to Coach Rassi as well, because he's the one that gave me the opportunity, because I had been there before for years, and I was actually so heartbroken. It was so difficult, because I think I attended about 15 camps before I get the opportunity to play. And that was difficult, because I didn't understand, because there's people who would be invited and they play, you know, invited, and you know, you get invited, you are grateful, but then you don't play, and year after year after year, you know, it was draining. But grateful.
What was being said to you each time you come back and you're not cracking?
Funny enough, I asked one coach, and he said, "No, I like how you scrum. You can carry the ball very well. You defend very well. You're an all-rounder." So I'm like, "What can I work on?" He said, "No, I'm happy with you." So it's those things that you don't know, you know. But more than anything, you keep your heart clean. You know, you don't allow resentment and bitterness and unforgiveness in your heart. You guard your heart. You make sure that, pride and entitlement and resentment can creep into any heart.
For sure.
So, God has helped me to just guard my heart, you know, and make sure that I keep my heart clean. And I think one of the things that I always say to the young guys is, when you expect from God, it helps you so much, because it helps you not to resent men too much, you know, because if you expect from the coach, and when the coach doesn't pick you and stuff like that, you can really be discouraged, and all the disappointments and stuff like that. It's fine, but don't allow it to get to a point of hate and unforgiveness and resentment and bitterness. You need to guard your heart, you know. And how I do that is, if I'm not selected, I'm like, okay, God, what are you doing? What are you building? What's in my control now? You know, which is my attitude, how I rock up, and if I'm here to serve other people and prepare them, and how hard I work. You know, how can I better my game and stuff like that. I analyze myself, analyze other people. So I think I've learned that through the journey of sometimes being heartbroken and disappointed and feeling the resentment, and I'm like, I don't like this resentment and bitterness. So that's how I'm like, expect from God. So when you do get your breakthrough, you also don't glorify man, you glorify God, because you expect it from God.
Amen. And when you were not getting what you feel so passionately about, did you think this is what I want, but this is not what God wants for me?
Yes, for me it was always not now. Like I could feel it in my spirit, you know, and again the intimacy, the relationship you have with God makes it easier when you in these tough situations, when you are facing adversity and tough decisions to make, and these situations where you have a relationship with God. You know the voice of God, you know, and that helps you because I could tell that God is not saying no, it's not now. Yeah. It's not ever going to happen. No. It's a not now thing, you know. And someone would say, how do you know that? Or I'm really not trying to be super spiritual, but the more you spend time with God, God. Sometimes we make God like we want a transactional relationship with God, where God wants to build an intimate relationship with us, not okay, I want you this, and you know, it's an exchange, it's a transaction. When you're intentional about building that relationship and intimacy, you know, that's when you can hear the voice of God. That's when you are able to obey Him, even when it doesn't make sense.
And God never changes His mind. He's made up His mind about where He wants you. And I mean, He opened so many doors for you in this pathway. So why wouldn't He want you at the highest level? You know, so I truly believe and understand that. When you put that Springbok jersey over your head for the first time,
no, it was especially truly amazing. Again, just thanking God, you know, that because there are so many people that came close and never really put the jersey on and play. So I'm really, really grateful. And so many people say, you know, LIZO, we know you're humble, you work hard, you're teachable and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, it's God. It's the grace of God. The reason for that is I'm really not trying to be humble, but who gives me the breath in my lungs? It's God. Who gives me good health to be able to run and lift the weights and do stuff like that, catch the ball? It's God, you know. So so that's why I always say it's God, because you know, I'm not going to start crediting my hard work and my what. No, it is God, because it's Him who gives me the breath and the good health from the first place. You know, so in moments like that, I'm just in awe of God's faithfulness and goodness.
But what does it mean and feel like to you to be a Springbok, to know that I'm a Springbok?
No, I think and sports, I mean, representing your country is the ultimate thing. It's where everyone wants to get to, and if you have a privilege and an honor of getting there, there's no words to describe the feeling and the pride and the honor, you know. But you're just thankful to get the opportunity. You're thankful for the people that helped you along the way to get there, you know. So it's never a your thing. I mean, you and I understand it better. If you win a game, even if you get man of the match, someone passed you the ball, you know. So so I'd say
it leads me to that question of how do you marry your God assignment with what you do, which is playing rugby.
This is huge, Amelie, and I think sometimes we miss this. And I always say, I was talking to someone just yesterday, Wednesday at work, that if there's no God's or eternal perspective or eternal value or eternal significance, you know, we are missing something. God gave us this talent, and for His purpose, and yes, you get the caps, yes, you get the money, you get the memories, you travel the world, but that's not all there is. There has to be eternal perspective, and we have to be intentional, you know, and understanding that when you are there, you must leave the legacy in people, the practices, the values, you know, the beliefs, you know, that's the legacy you leave in people. And it's not, you're not just there for you.
It's your ministry.
It's your ministry, you know. And I was in this other union, and I called the guys. I remember the forwards were coming from the field, and the backs from the gym. I called them into the physio room. I shared the gospel, and 5 people lifted their hands and accepted Jesus at work.
Where was this?
At work, at the Stormers.
Wow.
5 people have accepted Jesus.
One of the teammates.
The teammates, yes.
Wow.
You know, they accepted Jesus there. You know, that's where I'm saying we can't leave God outside. We can't leave ministry or the purpose outside. They go together.
100%.
You are planted there by God for a reason that's bigger than just collecting the checks or the memories or the caps.
100%.
You know, there is definitely eternal significance or perspective, I would
100%.
say. Yeah.
No, that's for me, that's spot on. Like, rugby is my ministry as well, and that's how I see it, because again, the doors that were open for me as well to be where I am was God eventually saying yes to me as well in what I want to do, but still remembering the assignment that He has sent me to do with where He has put me. What was the toughest memory in your rugby career?
So many. I think the waiting moments where there's uncertainty, where you don't know what's going to happen, especially in the beginning, where you don't have a contract, you don't know how this works, even you don't know, you've never been in a professional environment, you don't know what to expect, what's expected of you as well, and you just learning as you go. I think those are the toughest moments for me. Not really on the field playing and stuff, but it's the things that you don't really have control over. And sometimes being there, like I said, from 2014, being at almost every Springboks camp, but you don't get the opportunity, and you're asking why. You ask yourself, and when you ask the people that make the decisions, they say no, nothing, you have to work on, so those things are difficult because you don't know what to do, you don't know, it's out of your control, so there you just trust God, but it still hurts you.
For sure. And uncertainty plays a massive role in what we do. But you're a man of faith, you're a strong man, and I know that God has guided you through all those difficult times, and that's why you stand tall today.
Amen.
Even your Achilles injury that you recently come from now, and I've also been back from a ACL injury, which keeps you out for long. And I'm sure there were quiet days and lonely days during that journey for you as well.
Absolutely. I mean, injuries are tough emotionally. They tough, ups and downs. Today you're motivated, tomorrow you feel like you don't want to get out of bed. But for me, how I always see it is build before the storm comes. Be rooted in prayer, be rooted in the word of God. Because then your identity is not in rugby. Your identity is not in what you do. It's what you do. It's not who you are. So when you can, it's a difficult thing to separate. But when you can separate, this is what I do. It doesn't give value. I have value before I step on the field. I'm a child of God. So when your identity is intact, and it's solid and you are rooted, those difficulties, they come, but you are not shaken, you are not losing your mind, you are not despondent, you are not without hope because of the difficulty, and also understanding that it's a season. It might be a winter season. If you're in Cape Town, it will last 5 months.
It's wet, cold and raining.
Yes, it's wet, cold and raining, but it's understanding that it's seasons. The Bible says we must go through these things, but importantly is that let's make sure that we are anchored in Christ. then we are not swept away when the winds of adversity are blowing.
Yeah. Amazing. Melly, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. I knew this was going to be a powerful episode. And I'm just grateful that you said yes, firstly, and then made the time just to drive all the way from Pretoria to Johannesburg. But your story is remarkable, and having the honor of walking beside you at a certain season when it was hard and when it was difficult times, and you still kept the faith, that has always been inspiring for me. And I think that's what draws me or attracts me even more towards your character and who you are. So continue that. Continue being the person that you are, and may God continue to use you as a vessel.
Amen.
Just to touch souls and to influence many lives, and as you've been doing for so many years. So I want to say thank you.
Thank you so much, Melly. Thank you for having me. I'm truly grateful as well that I've had this conversation with you. Share the stories, our testimonies. The Bible says they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. So, I want one day someone to sit there, you sit here, and you share your story, because it's incredible. I mean, we stayed together at the army base in PE.
We didn't even touch
Yes. Then we were bathing with cold water because the soldiers bathed at 3. So for 2 years, it's cold water, but you're grateful you have water at least. So, bunk beds. But amazing from you to captain. The Springbok Sevens as well. Truly special, coming from Emma Clear, EP Kings,
very special,
and to lead us. This country is truly special, Melly, and to beautiful family. Congratulations to you, and an amazing career and what you're doing for the kingdom of Jesus Christ.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Unshakable family. Never despise the days of small beginnings, and I think Historia LIZO has truly been a testimony which he shares boldly, and I'm really grateful to have him on the episode. So thank you for tuning in, and I really hope you enjoyed it. We will see you next time on the next episode of Unshakeable. Cheers.
That's nice. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning into Unshakeable. If today's story moved you, inspired you, or gave you something to think about, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Remember, resilience isn't about being unbreakable. It's about staying rooted when the world shakes. If you haven't already, hit follow, leave a review, and help us grow this community of resilient voices. Until next time, stay grounded, stay growing, stay unshakable.